Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. Firstly, I want to point out if you hear any noise, it is that fan going on in the background because my room is extremely hot and without that I will start sweating. So this, as you can tell by the title, is going to be my April end of month wrap up. If you want to see the first chunk of books that I read this month, it'll be in a little link will pop up there, or it'll be a link in the description. And there's, I think, 7 books in there, and this is another 7 books. So first I want to look at my stats of the month. So for the month of April, I read 14 books across 4,735 pages, 1 contemporary, 3 dystopian, 8 fantasy, 1 horror, and 1 thriller, which that is the most diverse genre thing I've had this year. One of those was a middle grade and the other 13 were young adult. So there are the stats. Now let's start with the reviews. Not reviews, the wrap-up. I have notes on my phone because I seem to forget the most important plot details when I'm filming this, so if I do not write it down, I will not do it. So first, a book that should have been in my part 1 of in my mid-month wrap-up is The Lost Hero by Riordan, and I gave that 4 stars. And I really did enjoy this book. I like Riordan's world that he's building so far. Yes, I'm only 6 books into the world, but in this you learn a bit more about the Roman gods, which I knew absolutely nothing about. When I mean nothing, I mean nothing to my previous knowledge. So that was very fun to learn about. And I guess a little bit of a spoiler, I am really excited to learn more about the other camp that we learned about in the very end of the book. And one thing, and again, a spoiler, this kind of will have spoilers in it, but it was really cool to find out that Jason and Talia are actually full siblings. Like that, when I found that out, I was just like, I'm sorry, they're freaking what? So, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to continue with the series in the month of May. I'm reading The Sun and Neptune in May. So, yeah. The next is Palace of Wishes by Elm Vince and Helena Palace of Wishes by Elm Vince and Helena Rookwood. And this is the only book that I believe wasn't on my TBR for April that I read because I needed to read it because it was an art. And I did enjoy the series. The book. It's much more world. We're learning more about the world and more about the lore of the world and all that, and you see more fights and all that. I will leave the book 1, which is Throne of Sands, below, as well as this, because this is the second book in a trilogy. I think the 3rd book isn't out yet, but I will be getting an arc of that too when it comes out. So, yeah. Next we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which I gave 4 stars. This book I went in knowing absolutely nothing, but it was about a girl who was taken into the fairylands with her sisters as a child. Literally, that's all I knew, and then all that. I had no expectations, and I had no idea what I was going into and what to expect, but somehow, like, this is one book that when I say I had no idea what was going on, I mean, as each page was going, I could not guess what was going to happen. Like, there's some books that you can kind of see the ending coming, but even if that happens, you're still shocked you got it right. But this one, I literally, everything that I was like, maybe that would happen, nope, didn't expect anything, and I'm really excited to continue with Book of King probably in June, but I couldn't fit in for May. But I love Jude as a character, how she's so like, I know what I want to do, I'm going to do it. She's so like focused and all that. A little bit whiny, a little bit bitchy, but like, I like that about her. The next we have The Lost Sisters by Holly Black, 4-star, which is a novella from the Cruel Prince series, which it's more of a letter between Taryn, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and Jude. So it's more written as a letter from Taryn to Jude, kind of about some of the events in The Cruel Prince, and it's short, it's 50 pages. I ended up reading, for my owls, I ended up reading this is 50 pages instead of Heavy Vinyl Ride on the Radio by Carly Uston. I didn't read that because I just didn't have the urge. When it came time to read that, I just didn't want to. So I ended up reading The Lost Sisters since I knew I was gonna want to read it anyways. So I used that for my owls. Next we have The Summer I Drowned by Taylor Hale. And this is the first like thriller book I've ever read. So I had no idea really what I was going into. I knew it was going to be a little bit of a thriller, but I wasn't expecting it to be as much as it was. It was just like especially the first half was more of like a cute contemporary book with like a bit talks about mental health, PTSD, near-death experience and all that, but it ended up being, and then the second half ended up being a thriller where you're like, I have no idea what's going on really, but I truly enjoyed it. Like, it makes me kind of want to dig into more of the like thriller genre, which I never thought would be a genre for me, but I might give it a try another couple times this year. I love the plot, I love the characters. Stupid light. So, yeah. And then we have the Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And this one, I don't know. I did enjoy the book. I loved the characters, and I loved the characters. I loved how our main female character, Puck, she's very headstrong and is just like, yeah, I know you say I can't do this, but watch me, and all that, like, watch me win, watch me try and succeed and all that, even though everyone around her saying, are you sure you want to do that? This is more of a thing for men. You really shouldn't be doing this, because she's the first female to enter the Scorpio Races. But the Scorpio Races itself, I understand what the race is, but I do not understand what the race is at the same time. I understand it's a race with these special horses. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what they are technically called, because even though we're told how to say it, I still can't figure it out. But there's like the special water horse type things, and I don't understand how they exist or anything, because it's not really explained, and I also don't understand them that much, but even with not understanding them that much, I still do like the book. I also love how there's how in the back of the book there is a recipe for something that is in the book, which was something that every time it was described, I was like, I want to make that. Can I have a recipe? And shockingly, there's a recipe in the back, so I might try and convince my mom to let me make these. We need to go out and get a couple ingredients, but I might make them because they sound so good. That's like my favorite thing of this is there's like a recipe in the back of the book that I might try. So, yeah. And then the final book that I finished was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This was a reread, so it was just as good as the first time. I still love the story, love the characters. I don't think I'm ever gonna not like the Harry Potter books and movies and the universe and all that. It's kind of almost ingrained in me, and it's kind of weird after I haven't read this book in 3 years, and it was weird going back in and enjoying it just as much when I was like, I don't know how am I gonna like it and all that. And I was like, is it gonna live up to what it was? And yes, it lived up. I love it so much. I gave it a 4-star, which is my original rating, because it's good, but it's great, but it's not like I liked it, but I was like, there are so many other books that I love more than it. But I'm really excited that I did get to reread this. So yeah. And that is all the books that I read this month. Besides, I read one fan fiction. Yes, I read fan fiction once in a while, so I read one of those. And then I read 2 Wattpad stories. No, I read 3. Well, 2.5, because it was 3 books, but one's only half written, and it's continuing being written, so like, do you count that? I'd count it. So I'm saying 3 Wattpad stories, 1 fan fiction, and 14 books this month, which is really good. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to 5,000 pages, which I think all the previous months I've hit that, but whatever, hopefully May I'll hit that. Oh, and I didn't mention this in the beginning, I'm so bad. My average rating for books was 4.3 for the month. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. I am so dumb. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!